Greetings, nerds, geeks, and fellow freaks. This is DJ MK, and welcome to another episode of The Lady's Choice. In the last episode, the society swindler has taken on a gun. Thankfully, 'tis only a flesh wound. But Elizabeth Deverell and Mr. Ainsbury made a pact that he would never touch a weapon again as a society swindler. But what will she make a decision for him? Leave him or trust him on his word? Let's find out now. And now, the continuation. But before this continuation, bringing on my accent here, I am so relieved I finally have work. Yeah, I finally have work. I mean, I'm only taking classes on a part-time basis before I go to grad school, but the relief of having work, even if it's just part-time, it's wonderful. So, I'm just relieved. I'm really relieved right now. So, I've got work. I start tomorrow. I'm just really relieved right now. So, to all my supporters on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch, thank you. To all my employers at the time of this video, and in the future, and in the past, thank you. Without you, I would not be able to do shows like this right now. So, thank you. Just thank you. I'm relaxed. But you can still support me through my Ko-fi page. It's only $20. That's the goal that I've set. So far I've gotten nothing, but I'm patient. My channel is still growing, so and even if you don't want to give, just you showing up here on the channel makes me happy. And I'm gonna do my live stream of Black Panther now that the embargo is finally gone on spoilers. So I'm gonna do like a full review coming up soon, probably tonight or tomorrow. And then I'm gonna upload it onto my blog, mahokanamichi.blogspot.com. Since I'm not able to stream on Mixler yet, but pretty soon I'll get there. I promise. But anyway, like I mentioned earlier, in the last episode, Elizabeth Deverell and Mr. Ainsbury, well, Lawrence Ainsbury, they finally confessed, like, hey, we like each other. And now that she finally knows that Ainsbury is a society swindler, the one trait that she kind of disapproves of is the fact that he plays with an unarmed gun during his exploits. So Ainsbury made a pact that he was never going to use a gun again in his ploy as the society swindler. But then the very next day, Miss Witter announces that the society swindler used a gun on a nobleman. And this is just after they swore to each other. So, the big question is, do I trust him as word that he wasn't the one who pulled the gun? That somebody used his identity against his will to make him look bad by using a gun? Or do I leave him because anybody can manipulate their word? So, if it were personally me, I would leave him, because if he had to pretend to be a swindler in order to go after my heart and do all the actions that he did, he really isn't worthy of me, especially like with the way he was trying to act all progressive. The actions that he took were anything but. So, although a lot of these visual novels seem to have a happy ending, I think this is the one time where I won't follow through on that. So that's why I call it another continuation, because I'm going to try another path where I'm going to guarantee that there is a happy ending for you all. So, let's continue. As genuine as he seems, I just can't believe him. I want to believe you. I truly do. Then do. I step back further. I can't. Don't say that. Please don't leave me now, not after we found each other. You aren't who you thought I were, and I cannot be with someone who holds such deceit. I was never deceitful with you. Yes, you were. I'm sorry. I should have told you sooner. It's already too late. I turned to leave, squeezing my eyes shut for a moment to force myself to go. Don't go! I will give it up for you, all of it. I reached for the door handle, swallowing down the emotion threatening to choke me. Please! Elizabeth! My name from him makes me falter, the genuine care in his voice making my fingers tremble. Goodbye, Mr. Amesbury. I twist the door handle and hurry from the room before any tears can find their way free. Thankfully, there are only a few weeks left of the season. I spend them in the house, Arabella and Ernest keeping me company. Both are kind enough not to speak of Amesbury, even though I have given little detail on what occurred. Mr. Montfort regularly pays a visit, but the thought of seeing him is too much. After a while, his visits stop altogether when I refuse to see him. I'm thankful when I can return to the country estate, a town holding too many painful memories for me to set aside. A few months later, after returning home, my family receives an invite to the nuptials of Mr. Lawrence Amesbury and Miss Amanda Greenwich. I knew it! Anyway. The news strikes through me like a bullet, shattering the numbness that's settled over me since my time in Bath. The wedding is apparently a stiff affair, and the marriage itself is one that few people talk of in a good light. Was this the arranged marriage that he was originally going to go through? The society swindler is never heard of again. And, yep, the bad end of Amesbury. Okay, y'all. You know me. I can't be that cruel. So even though I'm not a fan of Amesbury's route, I'm still gonna go for the good end for him. So let's find out what we find out if we do trust him. Let's do it. Let's trust him on his word. I stare at him for the longest moment, examining every feature I thought I'd come to know so well. There was honesty in his eyes and truth in his voice. I stepped close to him, taking his hands in mine. His brows arch in surprise of my movement, a flicker of hope flashing through his eyes as he returns his gaze to mine. I trust you, Lawrence. His face brightens into a smile that even has me grinning in return. I knew it. I knew you would not doubt me. He raises his hand to cup my cheek, the heat of his touch making my smile widen. And to hear my name from your lips. His thumb runs across my bottom lip, making my breath catch. I would have placed there always. As would mine on yours. I pull away when I worry I may have become lost in the moment. But if it was not you who shot that man, then who did? I've been pondering the same thing all morning. Then that is why you did not meet me. He gives a solemn nod. We both take a seat, sitting opposite each other as we fall silent in thought for a moment. I did not even know about the incident until Pierce told me of it this morning, and I grew so concerned I knew it would show upon my face should I meet you. It must be someone imitating the swindler, but I cannot fathom as to why they would do so. Maybe it is someone such as yourself, looking for some excitement to fill their life? I suppose it must be. And when the opportunity presented itself in the form of an unknown man who could be anyone, they took it. but that they're hurting those that they stop is what worries. It was apparently only a small burn. That it happened at all was my main concern. This is my fault. I must find out this person's identity and stop them before it occurs again. And I shall help you. He turns to me, breaking from his moment of seriousness to take my hand. I could not ask for a better partner in this. A partner in crime. Partner in everything, Elizabeth. My name from him makes my skin heat, and I glance away hoping he will not notice. Whoa! Did not expect that. Actually, I already like this good ending a lot better. I gotta keep going with this. We both jump at the sound of the door opening, Lawrence's hand falling from mine. I glance to the side. Wait a minute. Was it Montfort? I would not be surprised considering that we've been rejecting him all this time. I glance to the side to see Mr. Montfort entering. Ah, Miss Devereux. I did not realize you had arrived. If I had known, I would have greeted you straight away. I appreciate the sentiment, Mr. Montfort, but I had urgent business with Lawrence. You sure you wouldn't be so open about your relationship after this point? Come on. You should have known. But then again, Elizabeth has been very oblivious up until this point, so I'm not surprised that he is entirely oblivious to Mr. Montfort's affections. Anyway, Lawrence? I did not realize the acquaintance had become so close. I didn't know he didn't know either. There was an odd hollowness to his voice that makes me frown a little, though Lawrence doesn't seem to notice. It has, very much so. I catch his gaze, smiling at his attention once again. I suppose you heard about what happened with the swindler. Mr. Montfort's question quickly breaks the moment. All rather dashing of him, don't you think? I would not classify any kind of violence as dashing. But it is far more exciting than stealing a few trinkets, do you not think? Certainly adds more character to what the swindler has done before. Such harm against another never adds character. Trinkets, as you put it, can be replaced, but one's life never can be. The man did not take anyone's life. Not yet. Lawrence suddenly stands, a smile on his face, obviously hoping to break the current topic. Come now, both of you. Disagreeing on things is well and good, but between you two I shall not stand for it. I also stand for my seat as the bell chimes in the clock. I should probably be leaving, or Arabella may come searching. Then allow me to escort you out. He moves to the door, stepping out into the hallway ahead of me. I turn to Mr. Montfort and drop into a curtsy. Good day to you, Mr. Montfort. He strides a step closer. To you too, Miss Devereux. I hope we can debate again soon. I smile at him politely as he dips into a deep bow before I turn and leave. Suspicious! Also, I kind of realized something. That little sound notification that I got in the last episode, it turns out that my OBS app was on a sound loop, which shows up on like the YouTube video. So I hugely apologize for that. I did not know that there was something going on with my sound. So now I know. Our OBS is updated, thankfully, so that shouldn't be happening again with this playthrough. So anyway, after helping me with my cape and hat, Lawrence walks me to the door. I linger in the hallway, reluctant to leave, even more so as he steps closer to me, drawing me to him like a moth to a flame. We'll find the imposter. Together. Until that time, maybe it would be better not to go as the swindler yourself. But how else am I supposed to find bravery enough to reveal my feelings towards you? I believe you are quite capable of that without the mask, Lawrence. I truly hope so. His hands rest on my arms, a shiver coursing through me at the touch. Thank you for trusting me. You are Most welcome. Now I really must be going. Ah, yes, of course. Yet, still his hands do not fall from me. Okay, might as well not be such a tease. Let's do it. Uncaring of any who may see on the street behind us, I step closer towards him and place a gentle kiss on his cheek. As I move back, I cannot help but smile at the surprise on his face. Because after all, why not be daring when you can do it together? His fingers touch where my lips had just been. Saying goodbye is certainly bittersweet. I give a light chuckle, quickly turning away before his gaze hypnotizes me further. By the time I'm nearing the house, darkness has settled over the town. Oil lamps glow, illuminating the few figures like myself who hurry back to the comfort of home. I'm thankful to find it warm inside, the chill from the evening settling on me like a dew. Johnson is the first to greet me, ready to take my cape and hat. Good evening, Miss Deverell. Good evening, Johnson. Is Arabella here? Indeed she is. He gestures to the drawing room. Thank you, Johnson. The older man gives as much of a bow as he can manage, though I fear I may hear his bones creak with the effort. As he shuffles away, I move to the drawing room. Arabella, I hope... Why do you fumble so, Ernest? It's only me. But you do not realize it's precisely the fact that it is you that I stumble over my words. Especially now, when I ask if you will... Yes? Arabella, may I have your hand in... Oh, Elizabeth! I knew it! Oh, man. I suddenly find myself stumbling into the intimate scene of Ernest and Arabella holding hands, and obviously something important about to be said. I did not realize you had returned. I cannot move from the doorway, my eyes wide. I apologize most profusely. I did not mean to intrude on... Well... I cleared my throat and glance into the hallway, realizing there is no subtle way to extricate myself from the situation. I should see Johnson. I quickly shuffle back out to the foyer, cursing myself for interrupting. It's only a few moments later when Ernest joins me. As he steps out, he rubs the back of his neck, a deep red blush still on his cheeks even through his bright smile. Good evening to you. You're leaving. Please do not do so on my account. I should truly be returned to the barracks. He gives a quick bow, grabs his cape and hat, and dashes from the foyer so fast I don't even have a chance to protest. When the door closes, I've moved back into the drawing room to find Arabella. Arabella stands by the fire, staring into the crackling flames, barely seeming to notice my entry. Arabella, I'm so sorry for interrupting. I did not know. Her face lights into a smile that makes her eyes sparkle. It does not matter. None of that matters. I believe he was about to propose. So I could see as I thoughtlessly blundered into the room. Oh, Elizabeth, do you understand what this means? That no one on earth could possibly match your smile at this moment. It means he must love me. There was doubt on that, because I believe his feelings were true from the moment of meeting you. She says, I guess it did stop. It was raining earlier. She says nothing more, excitement making her choke a little. She pulls me into an embrace and I can almost feel the sheer joy seeping from her like an aura. I did not think I could know such feeling, especially for one I've known but a few months. I cannot help but smile at her words, understanding her sentiment exactly as I think of Lawrence. Arabella spent most of the next couple of days eagerly awaiting Ernest's return. Though, he is unfortunately held back on military business. Lawrence and I also have little luck, neither of us making headway into the discovery of the imposter swindler. One afternoon, as I'm speaking with Johnson on household matters, Arabella scurries into the drawing room half breathless. "And what of tomorrow night's supper, Miss Deverell?" "What do you believe?" "He's returned!" "Who?" "I believe Lady Ashburn refers to the Colonel." I throw a knowing smile at Johnson, because the help knows things. "Ah, of course. Oh, do not tease me at such a moment." She moves further into the room, coming to stand beside me. I cannot help but notice her fidget, and unusual nervousness seeming to have taken hold of her. Johnson makes his exit, only to return moments later with the red cape and blue hat in his grasp. "Colonel Foxley." "Good afternoon to you both." We exchange formalities, though more from habit than necessity between us now. "What a delight to see you today, Ernest. And what could be the purpose of your visit?" I glance at the door, wondering how best to make my exit. I very much doubt either wishes me in the room should he attempt a proposal again. Well, He clears his throat, his glance shifting uneasily to the window. "It is such a beautiful day. I wonder if you should both like to take a walk about the park." "Oh." I stifle a chuckle at Arabella's disappointment. "Well, I think that is a splendid idea. We shall be just a moment fetching our things." And before I could even say a word of reply, Arabella takes my arm and leads me into the hallway to dress in our outerwear. After an hour of walking as far as politely possibly behind the excitedly chattering couple, I suggest calling on Lawrence and meeting them back at the park. A suggestion they are both more than agreeable to. So I take a shortcut through the park and arrive at the Crescent in a shorter time than expected. After ringing the bell, it's not long until the butler allows me inside. "I was hoping to see Lawrence, Mr. Amesbury, if he's at home." Before the butler can respond, another voice sounds from the doorway next to us. "Miss Deverell, what an unexpected pleasure." "Good afternoon, Mr. Montfort. It's always a delight to have you call upon us. I was actually wondering if Lawrence was at home today." "Oh, I see." He turns to the butler in a sharp move. "Fetch him from his room, won't you?" "Have a good day at work, Dad." "Oh." "Okay." I could pause this for a little bit. It's no problem. Okay. Sorry, peeps. Unfortunately, this continuation will have to wait. But yeah, I'm not cruel. I'm not gonna give you the bad ending. Because I'm nice like that. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If you'd like to support me, I have a Ko-fi page, ko-fi.com/u7u36ptm. I will have it customized in a bit. I also update my Twitter very heavily at DJMK for life. Tandersaya is also what I use for my Discord page, my PlayStation Network, Steam, Vainglory, and Battle.net. My YouTube channel is DJMK Off the Air, where I also simulcast. And then, what I want to restart with my coffee funds is my Mixlr radio show, Maximum Chord. I can easily live stream on my phone, but I prefer to have a really good setup on my computer, which unfortunately has become paid as of this year. So that's why the Ko-fi page has been started. And the best part about Ko-fi is that, unlike Patreon, it is not a subscription basis, so you can just do it one and done for donations. And finally, mahokunoichi.blogspot.com is where I write my blogs. So thank you so much for my beautiful followers for watching this video, and I shall see you a little bit later. Bye, everybody!